Abrams, the Ixian private eye. Working tirelessly as a battered and bruised private investigator in the Cursed Apple, Abrams is a hard-boiled detective, not too dissimilar from your classic LA noir types.
You fuck young boys, Valdez. Are you a madman?
Think Alfred Hitchcock, but more demonic and less of a sex pest. Born in Ixia, a realm beyond this plane, and also America's 52nd state, I guess they have oil, a place only accessible via a rift in space-time known as an astral gate. Abrams is still in touch with his Ixian roots and can speak the language, though not as fluently as the likes of Apollo, who take pride in their heritage. Abrams occasionally returns home on personal holiday trips via the astral gate in Central Park, though he keeps the details of these journeys home close to his chest. His face is well known amongst the crime syndicates of New York. He's made a lot of enemies and few friends in his line of work, but anyone who's anyone in the city knows that if you need a case cracked, you know who to go to. It isn't the mayor, it's never the chief of police. It would always be Abrams. This has taken a toll on his old bones though. He has his vices. He's a smoker, wandering around the lanes in-game with a cigarette in his mouth, and he enjoys a drink as well, with his favourite being a whiskey on the rocks. In fact, his place to crash after a day of cracking cases is Jezebel's, an old abandoned church which has been converted into a bar and social club for the weary souls of the New York streets. In here, you'll find the blazing bartender in Furnace, who quite often serves Abrams his favourite glass of bourbon late at night. Jezebel's is a sketchy joint, but the booze is always flowing and nobody asks questions. It's the perfect place for Abrams to unwind, whilst keeping his ears tuned to conversations and the flow of information. Abrams is also familiar with Rafe, taking part in her weekly poker game alongside Mo and Krill, who he has lost many a poker hand to, and owes a significant amount of money. Rafe has her own affectionate nickname for Abrams, and refers to him as Abe. It brings her no joy when it comes time to eliminate him during the ritual. Abrams works as a PI in New York, investigating all sorts of cases, from cheating spouses to grisly murders. He's snapped photos of politicians and their mistresses, tracked down high-profile missing persons, and explored blood-spattered penthouse suites, gathering clues on crazed killers and mob boss hits. Lately, he's been leading an investigation into the Paradox organization, a gang of affluent and wealthy thieves who steal for the sheer fun of it, and because they're incredibly bored. The Paradox crew steal various objects and artifacts of interest throughout the city, taking part in daring heists before displaying these stolen works of art in pop-up galleries for all to see, bragging about their acts of thievery. One of their members, Paradox, though they're all named Paradox to maximize mystique, has a keen interest in the book now in Abrams' possession. Abrams is close to sniffing them out, but they always seem one step ahead, and all of that has now been brushed aside during the ritual. One day, Abrams arrives at his office for a day of sifting through case papers and figuring out his next lead. He flicks on the light switch and sets down his jacket, but before he has a chance to sit down, he notices something strange on the table. Something he's never seen before. A tome. The only clue left regarding this mysterious object is a note written in onyx blood, which simply reads, "Don't let them have it." No description of the book, no instructions, no indication of what's inside. Nothing. Confused, Abrams sets the tome aside and carries on with his work, the book almost staring at him from the side of the room, beckoning him to come closer. Abrams leaves for the day and returns home, but when he walks in the door, he finds his house turned upside down, ransacked after being broken into by someone or something. Quickly putting two and two together, Abrams chains the tome to himself without hesitation. If they want it that badly, they'll have to go through him to get it. His life quickly spiraled out of control as soon as the book appeared. He found his office in shambles, drawers pulled out of cabinets, papers thrown everywhere, someone desperately searching for the mysterious tome. One day, whilst walking to his car during his morning routine, Abrams escaped by the skin of his teeth when his vehicle went up in flames and exploded from a firebomb. The game had stepped up. Whoever was after this book was no longer just looking for it. They know he has it, and they'll kill him for it. Abrams is a tough nut to crack though. He's been through many battles in his time and come out of it harder than a regular redneck at a country bar. Now, he takes the bus to work, confident that the people looking for him would not be so brazen as to massacre a bus full of innocent people. But can he be sure? The tome remains handcuffed to him at all times, like the world's worst bedside companion. This doesn't mean Abrams has control over it though. The book seems to have a life of its own, constantly trying to escape and free itself from his tight grip. In fact, Abrams' ultimate ability in game is actually the tome trying to escape, carrying Abrams into the air before he brings them both slamming back down to Earth. Trying to figure out just what the hell is going on, Abrams has been brought to the occult event known only as the Ritual. Two patrons from the encroaching supernatural world, the Hidden King and the Archmother, are trying to cross the border from their realm into this plane. They promise to fulfill the sole wish of anyone who helps them in this ritual by destroying the other patron. Abrams has to choose his side, to destroy the tome and return things to normal. Whatever secrets this book holds are not worth his life, but he can't risk them falling into the wrong hands either. He must complete this mission and protect those around him before those that are searching find him and dispose of him, taking the tome for themselves and unleashing whatever cataclysmic power is held within.